Hello everyone. Uh, so in this video, we will start making some electrical parts. We will make a switch. We will make something called splitter, and we will make one more thing. We will call this root combiner. So let's start with the switch. So the switch mission is obviously to switch electricity. So we will have one input port and one output port, and if the switch on, we will let the electricity pass to the output port, and if the switch is off, we will not let that happen. So, and also we will make some interaction with this electrical device. So when we press E or press something, we need this to rotate like this. So this time actually we will use a function that we have created in the base class. If you remember, if you go to electric unit script, right here we have created an virtual on interact function. So we will use this in this video. So let's go back to the switch and create a new script for it. Let's go to scripts, and from here create a new script, and let's call this switch. Okay, so let's start making the code of the switch. First of all, we will inherit from electric device script because this is an electric device, and we will make some different behavior in some functions. First of all, we need to create a boolean, and let's call this switch state. This will tell us if the switch is on or off right now, regardless if we have electricity or not in the input. This is only will tell us if the switch is on or off. Like will tell us if the switch uh, it's down or up. Let me show you right here. Let it compile. So actually, what will this tell us? It tells if the switch is right like that or like that. That's all what that boolean is responsible for. So we need to create this, and then we need to override a function. We need to override this function. We are getting, if you remember from the previous video, or from the electric device video, we have created this function, and inside this function, we are getting the new total input, and discarding our device cost, and then we are sending the remaining power to the output ports. In the switch, we are making the same thing, but actually we need to make a very little change. We don't want to send the power to the output port if the switch state is false. So even if you are getting like 100 in the input, if the switch state is false, we should send 0 to the output port. So to do that, we will keep the progress that's happening in the base class, but additionally, we will make a little changes. We will copy this, and we should go back to the script right here, and down here we will paste this, and we will make some change exactly right here. So here we will use a trinary condition. So we will say switch state and put a question mark, and we will put this inside a parenthesis, and we will put 2 points and 0. If you don't know what a trinary condition is, a trinary condition is letting us to assign a value to a variable according to some boolean, to some condition. It's exactly if and else, but minimize if and else. So right here we are checking if our switch state is true. So if it's true, we need to make the progress we have done before. But if it's false, we need to send 0, uh, whatever the total input is. So that's all the changes we want to make. One more thing, we need to make that animation. So I need to create a transform, and this will be the switch handle. that we will rotate, and let's make a function. We will call this handle switch animation. We will use .tween for this, so let's use .tween. Let's say using dg.tweening. So right here, I should also to create a tween. So if we press, so if we interact with the switch 2 times very fast, we don't want to the animation to has any conflict. So we should store the tween and kill it before doing any new animation. We have done this before in this tutorial series. So let's get a tween. Let's call this switch tween. And here, before doing anything, we should check if switch tween is not null. So that means there is some animation is already running. So if this is the case, we need to stop that animation to be able to create a new one. Perfect. So right here, we should check if we should check for the switch state. So if the switch state is on, that means you should raise it up, and if the switch state is off, that means we should raise it down. Let's go back to Unity and check for something. Right here, this is the object that we will rotate. If the switch state is off, it should be 90 on x-axis, and if it's on, it should be minus 90 on the x-axis. So let's go back to the code, and let's say switch handle dot transform dot do local rotation quaternion. So we should give it the target rotation right here. So let's say quaternion dot Euler, and we should give it minus 90 on the x-axis, and as a duration, I will give it 0.5. This will be enough, and we will make the same thing, but we will change the value. Perfect. I think maybe we forgot something. Yes, we forgot to change the switch state. So right now, our switch state is not changing. So we need to change it when we are interacting with the switch. Right here, we should override the on interact. We are not doing anything in the base, so we don't need this. So first of all, we need to change the value of the switch state. So the switch state is equal to not switch state. That means if the switch state is on, it will be off, and if it's off, it will be on. So let's change this, and also we need to make our animation. Perfect. So right now we need to make one more thing. After we changing the switch state, actually the total input is not changed, but we should call this function again, because the switch state is changed. So actually the device will be powered, but without the total change is changed. Cut. Right now we have one more thing remaining. Uh, After changing the switch state with interacting, we need to call this function manually, because this function is called when the total input is changed, but in this case the total input is not changing. We only changing the switch state, but we need to make the same thing when the input is changing. We are turning off or turning on the device. So we need to call this right here, and the total input will be the same total input because it didn't change. Perfect. So right now everything is done for the switch, but actually I have a problem because we are not calling this function in anywhere. So we need to use this function. So let's go back to Unity and let's go to our player and let's go to the device detector. So we are showing the UI and doing all this stuff inside this class. So right here also we need to handle the interactions. So let's create a new function and let's call this handle device interactions. So in this device, we need to make sure that we are detecting some device. So detecting unit, if it's null, we need to return. If you are not detecting any device, you don't need even to check if you are interacting or not. So we need to check if you are pressing some button. I will make the interactions with e button. So input dot get key down key code dot e. So if you are pressing E while we are detecting some device, in this case, we will need to interact with that device. So device detected unit dot on interact. And right here, we are calling on interact function. But if you are overrided that function inside that device, we will get the different behavior according what we override it. So that's all what we need. Let's go back to Unity and let's add some ports and this stuff to the switch. So right here, let's add switch script. Let's add a box collider so we can detect it. That will be okay. So I need also to add two ports. I will add this and this. We need a port for input and we need one more port for output. So let's make the input, let's make them a little bit deeper. So this will be the input port and this will be maybe the output port. That's fine. So let's go to this and change the name. Let's call this input port and make sure the type is input. And let's go to the other port and call this the output port and make sure you are changing the type to output. Perfect. So let's assign those ports to the lists. So this for input list and this for output list. And here we will make the name switch, but we also need to add some parentheses and put E here to understand that we can interact with that pressing E. So yeah, we also don't have any cost for this device. So that's perfect. We are ready. Let's go to the game. I forget to call this function in the update. So let's call this function and let's go back to Unity and try what we have done. So let's start the game and let's go to the switch and try to interact. Yep, we have an issue. I didn't assign the switch part. Yes, we have here a missing reference. So we will rotate this part. So I will add this part right here. So let's start the game again. And here, if we go to the switch and press E, we will interact with it. Perfect. So right now, let's try to connect some electricity to the switch and try if it's working. We have connected the electricity. Let's connect the output port with the switch. So we'll connect this with the switch input port. So I will connect with the input port. We have 24 in the input, but we have 0 in the output because the switch is off. But if I turn it on and we check the output, yes, we will have the output. So right now, let me connect this with all those lights. So connect this with the first light, connect this with the second light, and also connect this with the third light. And now if I press the switch down, all of them will turn off. And if I switch it on, all of them will turn on. Perfect. After we did the switch, we need to make these two parts. They are very simple. So let us do them very quickly. We have a splitter and we have a root combiner. So what the splitter is doing, the splitter has one input and three outputs. So we will give it some input and it will divide this input to three outputs. And what root combiner is doing, so in root combiner we have two inputs and one output, and the root combiner will combine two inputs and put them together in one output. And actually, we don't need to make any special scripts for them because our electric device main logic is will do this job for us. We don't need to make any custom things. So for both of them, I will add electric device script, and let's add a box collider for each one and handle the shape. Perfect. So let's give it a name. Let's call this splitter. We will have zero cost, and let's add our ports. Let's go to prefabs. We need four ports for this one. We need three for input. Sorry, three for output and one for input. Let's make this maybe 0.3, and this will be minus 0.3, and this will be right here. Perfect. So let's attach them. So this three will be for the output list, and this one will be for the input list. And let's change, make sure the type of these ports is output, and let's change the name for output port. And for this one, it's already input, and let's change the name for input port. Perfect, we have done with the splitter, and let's make the root combiner. We'll change the name to root combiner. And for this, we need three ports. We need two of them for the input and one for the output. So let's make this 0.1, and the other will be minus 0.1. And the third one will be the upper side, like that. So as I said, the first two ports are for the input, so in the input list, and the third one will be for the output, so in the output list. Perfect. Let's make sure about the names, and let's call this root port, let's call this, and their type is input, and for this, let's call this combined port, and make sure that is output. Perfect. So right now I need to just duplicate these two device, so we can have two different power sources. Okay, so let's go back to the game, and let's connect this port with the battery, and we'll make the same right here. And we should take this port and connect it with the first root of our root combiner. So with root port, and we need to take this also and connect it with the second root. So right here we are taking 40 from here and we're taking 48 from here, and in the as a result we are combining them and getting one very big power source. So I will take this and put it inside the combiner. So we are getting 100 here, so we will get 33, 33, 33 right here. Perfect. So let's use this also. I need to take this and put it in the switch, and from the switch I will connect this light right here. It will not working because the switch is off. So let's connect the other split outputs with the lights. So I will connect this with the second light and this with the first light. Perfect. And if I switch the switch on, this light will also work. These lights are working without the switch because I didn't connect them to the switch. But this one is connected to the switch. Perfect. We almost done our system. In the next video, I will make an auto turret. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one.